Mic check. Mic check. everyone had a really good Christmas if you celebrate. Hope everyone's looking forward to the new year. I know that for a lot of folks in crypto, 2022 was pretty brutal. So hopefully things will be a little brighter for us in 2023 and then heading into the 2024 happening. I think a lot of people are hoping for that. Sad truth is that it looks like we're going to get more down before we go up. I mean, the reality is that, you know, we could keep right on going down. I know that personally I haven't been trading very much. It's just been too risky. A lot of people are trying to call the bottom. And in my opinion, like that's when, you know, you're just going to get faked out and see even more blood in the streets. Nice, steal your blocks. Just saw the comment there. Bot, dump it. No, the truth is, and anybody who follows me has kind of heard me say this, that it's been really tough to trade lately. You know, like, case in point here, we look at this extension range, right? And I mean, we're talking about on the 4 hour, a potential 4% profit on Bitcoin. I mean, when you factor that into like a risk reward calculation, you're just better off not taking the risk of trading right now. Even with leverage, like, it's, you know, you're cranking up the risk. So for me right now, I'm being very patient. I'm not trying to force any trades, and just kind of enjoying some downtime. Oftentimes, you know, one of the things that trips a lot of traders up is they feel like they have to be in a trade. There's that FOMO. Perfect example right now, like on the 4 hour, you've got a 4.5, 4.6% total opportunity. I mean, for some people, that's worth it. For a lot of people, they're looking elsewhere right now. You know, a lot of guys, myself included, I've been looking a lot more at, you know, instead of things like Bitcoin, I've been looking at your top shit coins, if you will, right? Things like Shiba Inu, Luna Classic, right? Ape, Doge. Those have all been fairly, you know, respectable on the trading volatility. You know, it's like, here, we'll go down to the hourly on Luna Classic, right? And it's like, we've got, just measuring from here to here, on the hourly, you've got a 5% range to play with, you know. That's looking better than a 4.6% opportunity on the 4 hour. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more volatility in these coins right now, and I'm not looking to hold these or advocate for these in any way. I'm just saying that, like, as a trader, what I'm looking for is that volatility. You know, that volatility is what allows me to make money either direction. Now, let's just look at a few other coins while we're kind of out here looking. Pop out to the daily for everybody. Look at our fallen prince Ethereum here. Fucking Vitalik. Still a little salty over him killing mining. Or at least GPU mining, I should clarify. Good little thing we had going there for a minute. Then we all got Vitaldict. That's alright. Ethereum's getting Vitaldict right now, it looks like. Fell out of the trend line. I don't know, maybe I'm just salty, but there's a part of me that wants Ethereum to go to zero, because once a coin goes to proof of stake, like, you're really sacrificing security for scalability and speed. And I don't know, that goes just against the core crypto ethos in my mind. Yes, you're going to need scalability. I've had these debates with some very intelligent people. But at the same time, like, Bitcoin has value because it's secure. And I don't foresee proof of stake being able to be more secure than Bitcoin is right now, given the scale of its network. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just some idiot on YouTube, right? But I don't know. Like, I just don't see that as being the case. Feels like a sat grab to me, to be completely honest, anymore. But yeah, Ethereum is pretty much going down. Not a lot else to say about this one. What about Dogecoin? How's old Elon holding up here? Pump fake. Yeah, we're down. Might have to consider some Dogecoin if it gets down to like under 0.65, probably like 0.6. High 0.5s are looking pretty juicy, actually. It's where I might try to look for a little taste. Right in here. But right now I want to wait and see if we're looking here. Just a reminder for those that are maybe new to the stream, using Market Cipher here. Highly recommend Market Cipher. Can't say enough good things about it. But what we see here in Market Cipher B is the money flow wave. And we've got that at a pretty steep red MFI right here. right? Which really tells us that, money is leaving this asset right now, right? The velocity of money out is becoming more extreme. So once this kind of stops going down and peaks, then we're going to look for our potential entry there, and we're going to want to ride this up all the way until we get, our peak of the green money flow here, right? And then we're going to ride it back down, right? Pretty indecisive here. And then right about here, going to look to ride it up. And the idea behind this is that when these pumps happen, you want to be positioned in ahead of time, right around here, so that when these things do happen, when they do come out of the blue, right, especially on things like Doge with Elon behind him, you're in a spot to capture that move, right? You've maybe got a plan that includes take profits, up to some major trend lines or something. So recently, some people have asked me my thoughts on mining. Um, as a former Ethereum and GPU miner and everything, who still has, a number of rigs running. I want to see it succeed. I mean, I believe in the concept of proof of work. I think there's a lot of merit to it. Um, but yeah, I just currently it's a scary environment. Let's be honest. Anybody who's looking at the space should have some concerns. That being said, a lot of people have asked, "Oh, well, are you shifting to ASICs?" And part of me wants to, but at the same time, there's part of me that's wondering, is that not just maybe ego driving that push? Because the reality is that by 2028, we're going to see less than one Bitcoin as a block reward. Um, and I know that a lot of people, especially Bitcoin maxis, keep an eye on that 2028, 2032 kind of halving window. Um, I personally think that could be a huge price catalyst, and if I'm right, then it could still be well worthwhile to mine. My fear is that it will only be more and more competitive to mine, and if you're not able to get exceedingly prime rates or free power, the prospect of mining could really not become feasible for a lot of people. Um, you don't want to get into a point where you're gambling on price speculation too much. Just it leaves too much risk in the equation. Um, full disclosure, I recently sold a bunch of GPU mining equipment. Um, a lot of my older 10 series stuff that I've been running for a long time. Found a miner on Dreams Escrow on Discord there. Was able to negotiate a fair price, including the shipping and fees and everything. And now all those cards and equipment has a new home. And I've got some capital that I'm trying to decide what I want to do with here. Um, part of me wants to go wide on a bunch of crypto alts. Part of me also wants to look at some stocks and maybe expand the dividend portfolio a little bit. Um, there's a lot of discounted assets and good companies out there right now. Um, so I don't know. You know, uh, Part of me has said, screw it. Take that money and just blow it. Buy yourself something that you want and just say to hell with it. So I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, or whatever. But the reality is I still have like 12 cards I wouldn't mind selling, and then once I sold those, I'd still have I want to say like 60 or 62 GPUs. So, at one point I was up at like 116 GPUs. Uh, but yeah, it just times change, and he who adapts survives. Been working on some other fun projects too. Uh, a little bit of a trading platform called Phoenix. Um, I've mentioned this on the stream before, but it's pretty cool because it allows you to just do a real simple link of your trading view to like Bybit, right? And then you can execute trades automatically. One of the other really nice features of Phoenix is that it has like a copy or a mirror trade functionality. So setup on this, like if you just want to start and use the built-in community signals that they have, it's actually pretty easy. It's like a 15-minute setup to get this up and running. You pretty much put in your exchange API info, you fund your account, you tell it what risk levels you want to trade, and then you pretty much just let it run. Um, had some good luck with it. As good a luck as you can have right now in a super flat market. Um, but yeah, if folks are interested in automating trades, Phoenix might be a good one to look into. Um, the other nice thing about it is you don't need to run it on a localized server like you did with Profit Trailer. Uh, so, you know, little pros and cons there. This market is just so flat. How's XRP? Well, XRP's got a little movement with the whole lawsuit stuff going on. Shit, XRP might be one I have to trade a little bit here. Tell you, if I was trading right now, I'd be be definitely much more inclined to go short than long. Somebody just asked, played any good video games lately? I don't know if when it came out exactly, but Jedi Fallen Order, just got done playing through that. Pretty good. Enjoyed it. Wouldn't say it's the best game I ever played. Not sad I spent the money on it. Got it on the the Steam Winter Sale. I think I paid like $6 or $8 or something for it. So definitely worth it. Would recommend, especially for that price. Watch this down on the 15-second chart for fun. So going back to like the mining and stuff, when people were asking like, "Oh, what are you still running?" You know, I was talking about still having some rigs going. A couple of people asked for clarification on that. So the rigs I have running are based on either the NVIDIA A2000s, which I have like 46 of, and I have them all copper and shunt modded. I've also got 14 3080 Ti's all running, and they're all hosted through a company called BitCap. Um, BitCap is a really, really great hoster in my opinion. I've been very happy with their, with their service, with their response times. My uptime is just absolutely phenomenal. Um, Very much planning to continue to host with them and extend my contract. And if I do decide to go into ASICs, first call I'm making is to BitCap. So definitely gonna recommend those guys. As far as info on like what cards to buy, because I've had a few people who have asked how I picked some of the cards I bought. Some of my friends who've known me a while, like, remembered I picked the Radeon 7 as a really good Ethereum miner. Everybody thought it was going to be just shit, and it turned out to be absolutely amazing, and the prices immediately went up on them. I just sold off my Radeon 7s, to another guy. 5 of 6 still running, after multiple years. I had other guys who asked me about, the 3080 Ti's, why I went with those over the 3090s or the 3070s, and just when you look at the tech specs, right, like, you can kind of get a hint as to how well the card's going to perform. Especially when you look at things like memory bandwidth, memory bus, memory speeds, number of cores, core speeds, core layout. Is the chip on a new, silicone fabrication or design? Um, those things can all kind of like lead you to a probable outcome, give or take a little bit. So people have asked like, where am I getting my info from? Some of the same channels that a lot of guys use, like Linus Tech Tips is a good start. One that I like, it's kind of in my opinion, a really hidden gem, is this guy right here, Krootman, Tech and Mining. Really good breakdowns. As you can see over here, guy knows what he's talking about. Does really good breakdowns of all the different cards and from a miner's perspective. So I'd really recommend, Krootman here. If you guys, go and give him a like and a subscribe. As you can see, he's pretty well unknown. But like, I'll be honest, I was mining Nexa with this guy well before, guys like RPM were talking about it. No offense, Red Panda, but you're not getting the latest and greatest info that's out there. But yeah, guys, Krootman's pretty rad. Would definitely recommend checking out his channel. Yeah, Boris, I agree. Krootman really knows his stuff. It's he's right up there in my book with like Crypto Donkey Miner on like who's got like the cutting edge stuff. So. But yeah, guys, and then somebody asked again who was the hosting company I mentioned earlier. Again, it's BitCap, like a cap on your head. Check out those guys again, and I have nothing bad to say about them. From the minute I sent them hardware, like, it was online, I think within 24 or 48 hours, and a 90% uptime guarantee. I mean, like, I don't know why you would host elsewhere. I've tried other places that are now out of business. places like Oregon Mines as an example. You see a lot of miners filing for Chapter 11. Um, BitCap is doing real well. They're adding capacity. So yeah, BitCap, check them out if you're looking for hosting that's reasonable. They do primarily ASICs. I don't know if they still are taking GPUs, but they also are kind of the leader right now, in my opinion, around like immersion and some of the other really cutting edge stuff. All right, I switched over to ApeCoin. I'm just looking for some more volatility right now. As we saw, Bitcoin was absolutely flat, just flat, right? Here we've got some good volatility moving, right? This is on Ape on the 5 second, so don't put too much into that. But again, going back to Market Cipher here, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see that nice slope from green to red on the money flow. I don't want to say like fully go short here because of the time frame we're on, but just in terms of like, hey, I'm new to Market Cipher, where should I start? Hey, what's made you the most money? Honestly, as stupid as it sounds, it's just following the money flow. Like, that's the thing that has probably gotten me paid the most. It's just following the money flow. Because the money flow doesn't lie, you know? Volume can be faked through wash trading and stuff. Money's either there or it's not, in my opinion. So, there might be a way to fake money flow. I don't know. But I haven't found it, heard of it, ever figured out a way to do it. Let's look at Doge. Anything happening with Doge? By the way, for anybody who thinks they can try to trade this right now, just to illustrate a point, the entire width of the movement is 0.01% short of a breakout like we're seeing right there. So don't actually try to trade this. This is purely for entertainment value. What's our range here if we just measure from the top to the bottom of the Bollinger Band? Yeah, we're looking at 0.02%. So that's why I'm not trying to trade this. As fun as it looks. Back out to the 1 minute even, and there's just nothing to trade here. At least not on Bitcoin right now. But it's a good time to play with indicators and learn basic strategies, you know. In fact, here's one I kind of like to do a lot. I'll show you guys this one. So you pull up the RSI, and then you pull up the stochastic RSI. All right, and then check this out. Here's what I like to do. So come over here to, I need my drop down for my RSI. And then come over to style. I drop the RSI based moving average. And then I change my RSI thickness right there. All right, to the third little setting. All right, then I leave the default inputs here of 14, right? Now I come down here to my stochastic RSI, I right click, I move to the existing pane above, and then what I do is I right click that again and I pin it to scale A over on the right here, okay? And then what that does is it puts both RSIs, which are already both on a 0 to 100 scale, pinned to the same scale over on the right. So it's just a little bit easier to read. Now, in terms of overbought, oversold, standards for RSI are 70-30. Stochastic RSI is 80-20. Cheater trick here, you can totally just split the difference and call it 75-25. All right, if you really want to. You know, just change your upper band from 80 here to 75 and leave your middle there. Change that to 25, hit OK. Do the same thing on your RSI, make that a 75, make that a 25, and then you've got a lined up overbought, oversold level. Now, what is this really telling you? So RSI on its own is relative strength index, right? It's meant to give you strength in the market, you know, on a 0 to 100 scale, using overbought, oversold to kind of let you know, how extended are you from the median, right? So with that being said, we can almost use our RSI as a directional indicator, or more like a trend, even though it's a forward-looking indicator. Okay. Now, the RSI is measured as a line, and anybody who can kind of remember back to geometry, any math teachers, I was that kid who did pay attention sometimes in math. So here's your moment of glory. But with a line, there are an infinite number of points on any given line. Okay. So now what you can do is take that RSI line and use the stochastic RSI crosses as kind of that exact measurement point of where to get in on the line. And you can also use the direction of the RSI to confirm it's going in the right way. Also, another little cheater trick here is that when the RSIs converge, the strength of the move is multiplied. Okay? So what this is going to mean is that when your RSIs are touching and moving together, you get a lot more strength. You get a lot more oomph out of that directional move, right? Same thing when it comes down here, right? We're kind of seeing that right now, in fact. So this is a nice little indicator that I like to set up that just kind of tells me, you know, from a forward-looking perspective, are we up or down, and then kind of where in that move are we? So I'm hoping that that little tip there is something that people find useful. Maybe everybody already knew about it. I just know that a lot of people I talk to, they struggle with RSIs and when to use RSI versus stochastic. So figure why not just make it simpler by combining them in a way. All right, I was just told to check my audio levels a little bit. Let's see how this is with the sound and the microphone volume. All right, told I'm kind of hard to hear here, so little quick mic check again. We'll wait for the next song to start too. All right. Let's see. Ooh, see, Bitcoin's building a little strength here. Our momentum waves are turning up. The RSIs are starting to converge in an upwards direction, although our RSI itself just started pointing down. So, oh, there we go. Though it looks like it's trying. All right. Well, I hope that this information around the RSI, the stochastic RSI, how to tune the overbought and oversold levels is, helpful for some folks. Yeah. Again, not everybody uses RSI. A lot of people do. Not everybody, is even a very experienced trader, and a lot of times it's like, wait, there's two RSIs. That alone is overwhelming. Another question that was asked, what are some of these other indicators? So let's just break it all down, kind of indicator by indicator here. So we'll start off using Bollinger Bands at a standard 20. I like Bollinger Bands because they give you a good volatility read. There's also a little bit of a psychological component with Bollinger Bands where the more space between the candle body and the edge of the band kind of gives you a directional read. So like right now, there's a lot of downward pressure pushing down on Bitcoin. Just like over here, there was a lot of pressure pushing up, right? Then it kind of peaked out right there. So they're kind of a nice read in the moment. It's also nice just to kind of, when you look at the tips of the Bollinger Bands, whichever direction they're pointed can also give you a clue as to what's happening. Right now we see the top band curling over, which tells us that the move down is quite possibly at its end, but now we're starting to flatten and turn back up. As long as this keeps coming down and curling over, we're not going to go down too much more. So that's one of the reasons I like Bollinger Bands. Beyond that, then I've got some EMAs that I use. It's nothing hidden or fancy. It's a 921, a 50, a 100, a 200, and a 365. I find on most time frames it works pretty well. Also, in terms of where you retrace and stop, gives you an idea as to how much steam is left in the move. You start bouncing on that 200 EMA, it's maybe a good time to look at taking profits on a move. And, when you start crossing under that with other EMAs here, maybe a good time to go short, right? Because you're probably going to go under that yearly at that point. So again, that's kind of my main trend indicator. I also use Market Cipher A. I turn off its EMA ribbons because I've got those other ones that I prefer. I do still use the symbols within Market Cipher. The yellow X strategy is very solid. So is the blood diamond call, especially on the hourly or above. The blood diamond is definitely to be respected on the higher time frames there. Beyond that, I'll also use Market Cipher DBSI or Dual Band Strength Index. This is another EMA 200 right here. But if you notice, when you're above it, it's green. When you're below it, right, it's red. The other nice thing about DBSI is it takes something like 19 different indicators and gives you a stack rank as to how much pressure is they're pushing down versus how much pressure is they're pushing up. Kind of averages that out and shows you like, hey, you've got a 12 against a -2, for example. So the scale is -5 to like 26, 25 that it can go up to. Typically, I'll take trades that are directionally at a reversal point and at around like a 16 or something. That's typically where I like to jump in when I'm looking at DBSI. But for me, it's just another data point, right? It's kind of a strength read. I typically use that information more on the higher time frames than the low time frames like this 1 minute that we're on. Beyond that, I'll use support and resistance channels. This just shows me kind of where support and resistance is building in relation to the order books. So that kind of tells me where we're likely to, have a little bit of a fight, maybe see a reversal. Another tool along the same vein is the volume profile overlay here, just to kind of show me where the order blocks are, right? And again, I just kind of compare these two, but use them for roughly the same thing. After that, the next thing I'm using here is this range filter. Just kind of something I'm playing with, but it's pretty good at directionally calling, where we want to be. Still tuning it a bit, trying to figure out that exact sensitivity point of, you know, do I want every call on the 1 minute? Probably not. I'm trying to tune it for more the 15 minute, to the 30-minute time frame. And it does okay, but, there is that fine balancing act of where is it too sensitive, where is it missing moves, you know, where do you split that difference? So just a little side project thing that I'm working on and playing with here. Combines really well with parabolic SAR. It's another indicator I've been playing with a lot. But that's kind of how I set up my charts here and why. So the idea is I have, my momentum, my forward-looking indicators, my backwards or trend-looking indicators for confirmation. I try to incorporate at least 3 different time frames before I enter a trade, and then just make sure that I'm not up against an issue in the order book. So we'll take everything we just talked about here, we'll kind of put it into play on the 10-second just for grins. And look at that, we went right to the block in the order book. And that's where we got our little fight.
I've been waiting for somebody just like you, hoping, praying, run away to something new. My mistakes brought me to